welcome along. My name's Pam. I'm going to be chatting about vitamin D today. So vitamin D is actually a hormone in the body, and we require it for lots and lots and lots of different functions. We, in the UK, we are advised to supplement between the months of October and April, because the most beneficial way to get vitamin D into our system is by spending time in the sun. And we all know how good we feel when we spend time in the sun, don't we? And that has a huge impact on your vitamin D levels as well. So when sun rays come in as D2, and then that converted in the liver as D3, and then it's taken around the body and to do different functions. It is a hormone. Somebody's in Morrison's buying their vitamin D now, because I said to her today, "Are you on that vitamin D yet?" So yeah, we are advised to supplement with it in the winter months. I tend to take it all year round, just because I'm in the way of taking it. So I find that I'm much happier taking it all year round. What does vitamin D do in the body? So it's very important for strong bones. So for strong bones, you need calcium and vitamin D. And for the calcium to be absorbed into the bones, you also need vitamin D for that to happen. So very important for bone health, particularly as women. As we age, our bone density reduces, and we've got a higher risk of developing fractures and breaks, and developing osteoporosis as well. And that's much more prevalent in women as opposed to men, because we see that deterioration in estrogen levels, and that has an impact on your bone health as well. Okay. The other thing it does is it helps to control blood glucose and insulin release as well. So it plays an important impact in that. And with the rise of type 2 diabetes, then it's important to balance out those blood sugar levels to make sure that you're not having high sugar levels and you're not becoming resistant to that insulin hormone that it is when it is released as well. It's very important for our brain. So with regards to cognitive function, as in I've put my car keys in the fridge, can't remember things, maybe getting really easily distracted, can't concentrate, things like that, is very good to help with that. And it's also very good for the mental health side of things as well. So if we are feeling stressed, or if we're overwhelmed, if we have episodes of anxiety, it's also very important for that. And I really remember the difference after I had my first baby, after I had Heidi. It was about 7 or 8 months, I think, and I was so low after having her. But was exercising, eating well, doing all that kind of stuff, and wondered what the issue was. And it was actually my vitamin D levels were so low. So I'm very passionate about getting people to take vitamin D, because I have really experienced being so low in vitamin D, which has an impact on your energy levels and an impact on your overall mood as well. So keeping that in mind. It also helps to control blood pressure. As we age, quite often blood pressure can increase as well, so making sure you're taking vitamin D to help with that. It helps to regulate the calcium in our bodies. So when we have calcium circulating, we obviously need the vitamin D to combine to get into the bones. When we have too much calcium circulating around the body, that comes out in calcification. It can happen in the arteries and stuff as well, so we want to avoid that as much as we can. Inflammation is something else that vitamin D helps to reduce, which again is very important. Inflammation can come from kind of infections, it can come from stress, so we do want to make sure that we are keeping those to low levels as much as possible. Immunity, so it helps us stave off all those nasty colds, viruses, COVID, things like that. Other countries are supplying everybody with vitamin D supplements. The UK is not, but definitely there is scope for that as well. So making sure you are taking your vitamin D, even if it's not to do with COVID. When we have gone through such a huge period of time where we are not as open and we're not as exposed to certain colds, flus, bugs, then our immune system tends to take a step back, and when we do get something, we're absolutely floored with it. So whether that develops into maybe a chest infection or something like that. So keeping the vitamin D up to protect against all those colds and viruses as well. So the vitamin D you get in food is very minimal. It's from animal products. So if you are vegetarian or vegan, then you definitely have to take that supplement. But the amount we get from food is very minimal anyway. That's why we're still advised to supplement with vitamin D as well. For your vitamin D, you want vitamin D3. That's the active form of vitamin D. We also require, for vitamin D, so vitamins and minerals all sort of work together. For vitamin D to work effectively, we need to have vitamin K2, and we also need to have magnesium. Now that might not necessarily be a supplement, but it can really help. So you can get vitamin D2 and K3 supplements where they are together. Magnesium is another supplement which I highly recommend women to take. It has so many functions in the body and it can be really helpful. What I do always say is, if you take regular medication, whether it's for thyroid issues, whether it's for diabetes, anything at all, please check with your doctor or check with your pharmacist to make sure that the supplements are going to be okay to take along with that, okay? I've got a few examples. So the quality of vitamin D, these are just really inexpensive ones that you can get from Superdrug or Boots or whatever. They are just little tablets, tiny tablets. You can take one a day. Now, always takes about 6 weeks or so, 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the person, for you to maybe start to feel the effect of this. So please take it consistently, daily, and then notice if you notice any changes. And it's the main changes you might feel are your mood and your energy levels, your kind of happiness, and that you can function a little bit better. That's the main things that you might feel affected by. Affects it. So this is from the company Garden of Life, which is a company that I use. Their supplements are very good. This is a vitamin D3 spray. You can really see it in there, but you can add I spray it into water, my first glass of water of the day. Quite often I'll take that, I'll spray that into it. And I've not used this one yet, but this is the Better You company, which is a company that I really like, the spray vitamins. Great for kids because there's no faffing around with tablets. And this is a vitamin D3 plus K2. So that's got both in it together. And it's a natural peppermint flavour as well. Excuse me. So that's just some examples of vitamin D that you can get. Quite often when we do take a multivitamin and vitamin D is in there, it might be the inactive form. So we want to make sure it is the D3 that we are taking. And sometimes it's just not enough as well. So toxicity levels of vitamin 3 tend to be reported as low. So there's not a huge risk of kind of becoming toxic to the body. But you could, if you think that you do need to take it, you can get home testing kits to see your vitamin D levels, or you can get it checked at the doctor in blood tests, and that could tell you what your vitamin D. Always remember that when you get blood tests for anything, whether that's for D, whether it's for iron, whether it's for hormones, there is levels, kind of normal levels within. So if you are having symptoms of something, but your level shown as within that normal range, you might be towards the lower end of that normal range, and that's really low for you. So just because you're in that normal range doesn't mean that that you don't need anything to help with that. So just keep that in mind when you are having any type of testing as well. Just check at what point within those normal ranges is it quite near the low end? Then it might be something to look into a little bit further. Please remember also that women, as we age, our hearts are affected, our breathing system is affected, our bones are affected, our muscles are affected, our brain is affected, whether that's cognitively or mentally. So vitamin D can really help with all of these things. So if you are in perimenopause or you are postmenopause, then definitely get your vitamin D added into your daily routine. Okay, so I hope that was helpful, and yeah, just let me know.